What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live trading video where I talk about my trades that are happening. You can see right now I am in a buy trade on GBP USD, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about the target that I have here and a really interesting lesson that I'm sure many of you guys have probably experienced in your trading and how I handle it. The lesson being the concept of when price comes just up to your level of take profit, or down to your take profit if you're short, and turns back around. How do you handle this? How did I get into this trade? Where's the entry? Where's the exit? All of that stuff I'm gonna explain in today's video. Let's go ahead and dive into it right now. Hey traders, thanks very much for tuning into another one of my videos here. I know a lot of you guys have been saying you like the live stream or the live videos where I talk about my trading. Do me a favor, if they are helpful to you, the best way to show myself and the content team behind the scenes that you want to see more of this content is to give this video a thumbs up down below. Now, when we're looking at GBP USD, we are long here on the position. You can see I ended up getting long right here. So this is where I actually entered the trade. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I entered the trade long here, as well as this little scenario where I had a take profit set and I just barely missed it. But first, let's talk a little bit about the entry. So what we had here on pound dollars, we kind of had this nice rise to the upside. Well, then we started to kind of trail off like this. And this kind of resembles what you would call a bullish flag. At least that's how I saw it in my own analysis. You can still see I sent this trade out to VIP members. If you don't know what that is, I offer an online community. Myself and our company offers a place where traders can come together and follow along with trades taken by some of our different top trading analysts, one of them being myself. And what we do is, there's a whole chat room and people can hang out and talk and trade. And we were talking about this particular setup here on pound dollar. There was a nice little bullish flag potential here. You kind of have this little interesting kind of wedge formation that was waiting here. Well, when we saw price start to break out of that wedge formation right here, I basically wanted to get long, hoping that, or trying to go for the idea that we could see the continuation and the next push of this trend. So we saw something like this. We saw the spike, we saw the consolidation period, and on the start of the next move, I looked to get long, trying to join the move to the new highs. In this case, you can see we were correct about that. Now, it's not always going to work that perfectly, and not every trade is going to work out by any means, my trades or anybody else's. But the idea here is we did our analysis, we stuck to the plan, and everything went right until it didn't. What did not go right about this trade? Well, you can see our target, our entry was really good, right? We had just a short period of time before price shot in our direction as we had hoped for, but we just barely missed our take profit here. Well, when I woke up this morning, I was right here. Okay, I woke up this morning, I took a look at the charts after kind of getting ready in the morning, and you can see price came down all the way back to my entry point. So as you can probably imagine, I was a bit disappointed, as most traders would be. The difference though is I didn't make any drastic changes to my position. I still liked the idea of a bullish pound dollar, and we still could be wrong about this. We could see price reverse. But either ways, I'm still happy with how this trade has actually played out so far, and I'm hoping to catch the full take profit there at the top of the move. Now, when we talk about where price came back down to, you can kind of see that there's an interesting point to be made here. We came back down and notably found support and rallied again this morning off of this structure low. So price came down to right around where our entry was. And what's kind of cool about this is it kind of confirms the entry analysis behind the trade. This area definitely has found strength. It has found demand more than once. Recently, we had resistance again, but then price started to break it. So I got long and it actually held, right? And on the retest, what we see now is that price looks like it wants to continue to respect this area as a supportive level. So with that said, what am I going to do? Well, I have a target here. I believe this is about 40 pips of profit. Okay, so 40 pips of profit on this particular trade if price goes in my favor. Now, what do I have in terms of risk? Well, here I've got negative 15 pips of risk. What this means is that my upside is basically a lot bigger than my downside here. Not to mention we're also heavily in profits already. But I really wanted to talk about kind of this scenario because I know a lot of traders, they feel like the market targets them, right? They feel like the market is out to get them specifically, or that just they have just really bad luck in the markets, right? A lot of people have that kind of notion, or that kind of woe is me approach to the market. And if that's you, or that's been you in the past, I'm not picking on you, because I'm telling you that I've definitely felt that way. I've definitely felt like the market was out to get me. But here's the thing, the market does not care about your trades. The market really doesn't care about most people's trades, right? Unless you're a massive hedge fund or massive bank or moving the markets tremendously, the market doesn't really care about you and I's entries. We're so small in a massive sea of movement. Well, it really kind of comes down to psychology. We have this tendency to almost feel like we're unlucky, to feel like things are against us and things are stacked up against us. But I've had consistency in my trading for some time now. I've been able to make nice profits overall from my trading, but this stuff still happens to me. So if you think that you're the only one, it's happening to me, but it's no excuse for not successful trading. Some sort of mentality of, oh, everything's always against me and I'll never win because this, and this, and all those excuses will never make you a successful trader. What's gonna make you a successful trader is accepting this stuff on the chin when it happens to you. So when this happened to me, of course, it was no fun. I saw the position, I was like, man, that's a bummer. We literally came within like 1 pip, 2 pips of take profit there, and it came all the way back. Now, notice, I know somebody will say, Nick, why didn't you trail your stop? Well, I didn't trail my stop because I was actually asleep while this position was going on. And I also really am fine with not trailing my stop on this particular account. This account, I do not do much trailing stops on. I have different accounts where I do different approaches to kind of test and see which one is working best. But generally speaking, I'm not going to trail my stop on this. I'm happy with the position so far. And as price goes in my favor here, if we get out of the full take profit, that's great. So what's the lesson learned here? Well, if price reverses all the way down, the worst thing we could say would be, we're just unlucky. The market's out to get us. That's a losing mindset, and that doesn't get you very far. If the market goes up and hits the take profit, we don't sit there and say, the other side of it would be to make sure that you don't pat yourself on the back too much and say, I'm the best trader in the whole wide world. If this trade goes well, then great. We'll move on to the next position. We won't let it get to our head. And the psychology is very, very important, guys. A lot of times people get so caught up in the entries and trying to get the perfect technical analysis that they forget that the mindset, the psychology is so key. So we're going to see if we can get out of this trade here again for a profit of 40 pips on the account. Wouldn't be pretty nice, but if price decides to reverse, then that would be part of the strategy too. It's sticking to the trades, whether they are winners or losers, and trusting in the analysis. So again, looking for this support level, which I'm pretty happy with to see that it's held very nicely, looking for that to catch the next rally and push pound pairs here a little bit further here on the 1 hour chart. Again, this is a trade that I sent out to VIP members. If you're not already a VIP member, there's information down below in the description for you to look into that. Guys, we'll be back soon with an update here on this trade. All right, traders, and there we are out of the trade there for just shy, actually, I believe it's just 40 pips. So we just took 40 pips here on GBP USD. Now the cool thing about this is what we were basically doing is very simple concept. We saw price moving very bullishly here on pound dollar, and I was interested in the continuation. So I sent out my analysis to the VIP group. We shared all of that. And then we talked about the idea of making a target of just about 40 pips, kind of catching that next leg higher. And so we did end up breaking just past the high. So although price turned around and came back 40 pips just before hitting our target before, very quickly this morning here in the start of the New York session, we're starting to see GBP USD gain some bullishness. It's either GBP going up or the US dollar going down. I'm not too sure, but regardless, pound dollar made the move that we were looking for. We caught that full 40 pip gain there on the move. And now the question becomes, what do you do next? Do you adjust what you're doing to avoid this happening in the future? So here's where I really want to just kind of touch on this subject one more time. So if price goes in your favor, but then before it hits your target, it reverses quite a bit. Should you next time put your target here instead? Would this have been a better scenario? No, it wouldn't have, because we got our target anyways. But it may seem like the better solution next time would be to put your target a little bit closer. And this is what new traders do. A lot of times new traders, they see that the market does something like this and they adjust their whole strategy just because of a one-time occurrence where price turned around and reversed on them. So my opinion is no, do not change your strategy just because of what happened on one single trade. This is the concept of focusing too much on a single trade when trading success relies on many trading kind of vessels or many trading executions in order to actually become consistent. There are going to be the outliers. There are going to be those weird times where price comes up like this, but it not only goes and reverses and then comes up again, it actually reverses the full way and hits you for your stop loss. And this is where people get in trouble because they can never stick to a strategy because they're always trying to adjust it to fit the perfect scenario. In the case that we actually saw, what ended up happening? Our analysis played out great. We were very correct about this pound pair movement. So in the future, I'm not gonna adjust what I'm doing. I'm not gonna change my strategy drastically just because of a one-time occurrence where price kind of did a freak thing where it reversed very quickly short term, because the ultimate thing is I'm trusting my analysis, I'm trusting where I'm placing my targets, where I'm putting my stops, and trading accordingly. Guys, I hope you got something out of this video. As I said in the beginning, if you like these trading videos, if you want to see more videos where I actually am trading in the videos, make sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll see you guys back next time. Thank you very much.